everything I'm going to explain here today are the questions you will see as far as this NECO 2024 biology practical is concerned. So I want you to pay attention to everything I'm going to say today as far as this NECO practical is concerned. Okay? Yeah, good day viewers, you're welcome to my channel. If today is your first time of visiting my channel, please I want you to do well by hitting the subscription button and also turning the subscription bell on, so that anytime we post on this channel, you can be able to get notification in order to enable you watch our videos anytime we post. So on today's edition, I'll be taking you on NECO biology practical specimen. So I want you to pay attention and please do not skip this video. So if you have anybody who is writing NECO this time around, please endeavor to share this video to such person so that the person will benefit from this video. And I must tell you that everything I'm going to tell you today are the things you are going to see in this NECO practical. We did it in biology and so many of students are testifying on what we did. So in my previous video, I was able to treat specimen A to specimen H. So on today's edition, I'll be completing it, which is from specimen I down to specimen O. So please, I want you to pay attention. Okay, everything we are going to say here are the things you are going to see. So just get your pen and paper as we proceed. So I'll be starting with specimen I. Now the specimen I here says cactus plants. Cactus plants. So what are the things, what are the questions you will be expecting as far as this specimen is concerned? First of all, we must know the kingdom. So the kingdom of cactus plant is kingdom plantae. Kingdom plantae. Now when we talk about the botanical name, we say that the botanical name is Cactuidea. We have Cactuidea. The Cactuidea is spelled Cactoideac. That is EAC. Okay. Now we are going to be looking at the adaptation, which is the environment where this cactus plant is found. I believe that so many of us may have seen cactus plant before, but we may not be able to know the name of the plant. So it is not rare. It is found in so many places. So when we talk about the adaptation of this cactus plant is a xerophyte. Is a xerophyte. Now, what are xerophytes? Xerophytes are plants that grows in desert. That is to say that it is a desert plant. It is a desert plant. Now, the question now will be, since it is a desert plant, what are the things that enables it to be able to survive in desert? What are the things that enables a cactus plant to survive in desert, which is in a dry land? Now, one of the reasons why it survived is due to absence of leaf. The absence of leaf. Yes, its absence of leaf enables it to be able to withstand transpiration. Yes, there is no transpiration. Transpiration do not occur on a cactus plant, unlike other plants around us that have leaf with open stomata that enables transpiration to occur frequently. So that is the reason why the little water it can be able to absorb whenever there is rainfall, it can be able to use it to survive throughout dry period. Okay, now it has a very wide root. It has a very wide root. Now these wide roots are the things that enables cactus plant to be able to absorb water. That is, to be able to reach out to places where there are water. And again, it has a very deep root. Yes, it has a very deep root. The root goes deep into the soil up to a point where they can be able to absorb water. So these are the things that enables this cactus plant to be able to survive in a desert or in a dry land as a xerophyte plant. Okay, now let us now look at the mode of nutrition. What are the mode of nutrition? The mode of nutrition of a cactus plant is autotroph. They are autotroph. They have greenish pigment. They are greenish plants. And since they are greenish plants, they are able to manufacture their food in presence of sunlight during photosynthesis. Okay, so that is all you need to know about a cactus plant. Now if you look at the structure, on my screen, you will see that possibly you may have seen this around you. So we refer it as a desert plant or a xerophyte. Okay, now the next one we'll be looking at now is water lettuce. Water lettuce. Now if you look at the diagram in the screen, you will discover that this water lettuce, you may have seen it before. As the name implies, water lettuce, which means they survive mostly in water. So that is why we call it a hydrophyte, which is the adaptation. They are hydrophyte plants. Hydrophyte plants are plants that are able to survive in water, that lives in water. That is their only area where they can survive and thrive very well as far as their adaptation is concerned. Now, what to do to their hairy roots? Yes, they have hairy roots. Now, this roots do not go deep inside the soil or deep inside the water. Now, there is no need for the plant to begin to have a deep root, just like the cactus plant that doesn't have water, since they are on top of the water. So what they have now is hairy roots. Okay, now here we have broadleaf. Yeah, they have broadleaf, unlike the cactus plants. So from what I'm reading out now, you can be able to differentiate between a cactus plant and a water lettuce. Okay, between a cactus plant and a water lettuce. Now for this water lettuce, we see that they have a broad leaf. They have a broad leaf. Now the reason why they have broad leaf is for easy transpiration, so that there will be constant transpiration on the surface of the leaf due to presence of good amount of stomatas in the plant. I believe you are understanding what I'm saying. If you anything you don't understand, please, I want you to leave a comment on the comment section, and I promise you that I will give you answers to your questions. So like as I said earlier, they have broad leaf. They have broad leaf to enable them to release excess water that the roots have absorbed. So that is why they have broad leaf. Now here they have thin cortical waterproof. They have thin cortical waterproof. Their body is made up in a way that their body is waterproof, which means it does not allow easy diffusion of water into them. So the waterproof structure, which is the cortical, enables them to remain in water for a very long time or very long days without getting over turgid. Okay, so that is that for water lettuce. So please take notes on that. Now the next one we'll be looking at now is specimen K, which is ripe tomato fruit. Specimen K, or ripe tomato fruit. Now what you should be looking at is the structure of a ripe tomato fruit. Please, I want you to go and learn how to draw tomato fruit. It is very, very important. Okay, and while you are learn how to draw a transverse section of a ripe tomato fruit, just like the one showing on the screen now. That is the transverse section of a ripe tomato fruit. And also learn how to label it. It is very, very important. Now the tomato fruit is made up of the epicarp, the mesocarp, the endocarp, generally known as the pericarp. Okay, the three of them are generally known as the pericarp. Okay, so it is made up of the placenta, it is made up of the seed, and it's made up of the juice. So the life cycle of tomato fruit is annual, which means they only last for 1 year, okay, before they die. So please take note of all this when you are asked to draw and label a tomato fruit. And remember, while you are asked to draw this, you will be given a scale. You'll be given a scale where you'll be asked to, using a scale of 8 centimeters to 10 centimeters, draw a ripe tomato fruit, which is a transverse section of a ripe tomato fruit. So please go and learn how to draw it. Now, when in case of when this is given to you, that 8 centimeters to 10 centimeters simply mean that when you place your meter rule on the paper, you place it from 0 to 9 or 0 to 9.8 or 0 to 10. Okay, you must not exceed 10 and you must not go below 8 centimeter. Very, very important. Okay, now if you still want to learn how to do this practically, all you need to do is visit my other videos, which is 2 years ago. I personally treated on how to make use of scale in scale drawing. Very, very important. I believe you've gotten that. So now let us proceed. Now, what you should note here now is the agents of dispersal. The agent of dispersal. What are the agents of dispersal of ripe tomato fruit? There is something you must understand as far as dispersal is concerned. Every plant or every fruit that have a very sweet taste, is usually dispersed by man or other animals. So from that, the agent of dispersal of tomato fruit, ripe tomato fruit, is man, animals. Okay, now you can see, if you don't want to use animals, you can just use just mention any other animal that you know that is capable of eating tomato. Just like the rats and the rabbits, they eat tomato fruit. So as they pick on those tomato fruits, they can be able to carry it from its original location to another location, and when it gets there, the seed can now germinate and a new plant will pop up. So that is why we say they are being dispersed by animals. Now, another thing there is, under dispersal of agent of dispersal of tomato fruit is water. Water is a good agent of dispersal of tomato fruit. Now let us look at the placentation. Very, very important. You'll be asked to name the placentation of tomato fruit. It is very, very important. So the placentation now is known as central azale placentation. I repeat, central azale placentation. It is very, very important for you to note that. Now look at this. Let's take a look at the factors that can prevent tomato fruit from germinating. Factors that can prevent tomato seeds from germinating. Now the question now is, okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a tomato seed germinating from the tomato fruit before? Is it possible anywhere, like you drop your tomato in a bucket, by the time you come back after some weeks, you discover that seeds of tomato have started germinating? No, it is not possible. The only thing that does that is, like for example, orange. Orange does that, but not even always. Now the reason why tomato seed does not germinate from the fruit is because the seeds are very, very acidic and they cannot allow the seeds to germinate. Very, very important. Okay, so that is for extra knowledge. So in case possibly you want to plant tomato seed, all you need to do is wash it out, dry it, and then before you now begin to plant. Okay, very, very important. This is for extra knowledge. Okay, now let us look at the second specimen, or the third specimen rather, which is specimen L. The specimen L. Now this specimen L is ripe palm fruit. Ripe palm fruit. Okay, now in this specimen L, what you should be looking at is the type of fruit it is. Okay, before I forget, I don't know whether I said something like the type of fruit in specimen K, which is type of fruit of tomato fruit, the type. Now the type of fruit for tomato is berry. In case I did not say it, please you forgive me. The type of tomato fruit is berry. Tomato is referred as berry. While in specimen L, which is palm fruit, the type of fruit is drupe. Okay, so it is called a drupe. Now, okay, it is called a drupe. Now let's take a look at the structure of palm fruit, ripe palm fruit. Structure of a ripe palm fruit. Now, if you check my video, that is the screen, you will see the structure there. The ripe palm fruit is made up of the stigma, the mesocarp, the embryo, the endosperm, and the endocarp. These are the components of this drupe, which is ripe palm fruit. Ripe palm fruit. Very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. Now let's take a look at specimen M. Specimen M. Please remember, if you have any question, anything you don't understand, as far as this video is concerned, please do not hesitate to drop your question on the comment section below, and I promise you I will give you answer to every question as soon as I see the questions. Now the next one there is specimen M, which is tridus fruit. Tridus fruit. So what you should be looking at here now is the mode of dispersal. Mode of dispersal of tridus fruit. Now tridus fruit is dispersed by, number one, wind. It is dispersed by wind. It is also dispersed by man and insects. Yes, these are the agents of dispersal of tridus fruit. Now here we have pollination. Pollination. What are the agents of pollination in tridus fruit? The agents of pollination now, here we have insects, we have man, and we have wind. These three that I've mentioned, they are agents of pollination in tridus fruit. These are the agents of dispersal in tridus fruit. So take note on that. Now let's quickly go over to specimen N, which is ripe mango fruit. Ripe mango fruit. Now let's take a look at the type of fruit it is. Now ripe mango fruit is referred to as drupe. Is referred to as drupe. Now the placentation is known as axial placentation. Is known as axial placentation. So both the tomato fruit and the mango fruit belong to axial placentation. Now let's take a look at the mode of dispersal of mango fruit. Just like as I said earlier, any fruit that have a sweet taste are usually dispersed by man and other animals. So here now we have man as an agent of dispersal, we have water as agent of dispersal, and we have animals as agent of dispersal. So these are agents of dispersal. Now let's take a look at the structure or the component of the structure of a mango fruit. Here now we have the epicarp, we have the mesocarp, we have the endocarp, we have the seed coat, and we have the seed. So those are the things you need to know about mango. Very, very important. Mango fruit is a perennial crop. They last more than 2 to 3 years. Please, if you are missing anything, please, all you need to do is just to drop your question, and I promise you that I will give you answer to any question I come across. Okay, now the last one, which is a flamboyant flower. A flamboyant flower. Now there is no much you will be asked in this particular specimen. All you should know about this specimen is their pollination. Their pollination. What are the agents of pollination of this flamboyant plants? Now the agent of pollination here is 1. Wind. Wind is an agent of pollination in flamboyant plant. We have incense is also an agent of pollination, and lastly man, an agent of flamboyant flower. Now let's take a look at the structure of these flamboyant plants. Here we have, it contains the stigma, the star, the anther, the ovary, the ovule, the filament, the petal, the sepal, and the pedicel. Let us take a look at the kind of ovary that this flamboyant plant have. The flamboyant plant is made up of a superior ovary. Please take note of this. Flamboyant plant is made up of a superior ovary, and it is a perennial crop, which is their life cycle. They exist more than 2 to 3 years. Okay, you need to know about specimen A, specimen I to specimen O. If you need any assistance as far as exam runs is concerned, all you need to do is just chat me up on my WhatsApp number, and I promise you that I will provide answer to all the questions that you need in all the exams you are writing, ranging from art subjects to science subjects. Everything you need to know, I will provide it, all the answers and the questions. I will provide it a day before the exam. Follow me on my WhatsApp with the number